I'm from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch this, my flow I can't rush this. Put them on silence when I'm talking, you should hush bitch. I am from the heavy base, my bro called a heavy case. Got a couple
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Tonight, we will be smoking on the word community. In American culture, there have been many examples, interpretations, and ideas of community. But we want to find out tonight is if community is bad, good, or misunderstood. And before we do, make sure to like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God.
Peace, God. What you dealing with?
Man, everything's beautiful. We got another Sunday to be thankful for something, to do something positive, do something constructive, build something, learn from something, win, lose, learn, gain, maintain, and build a community together, man. You know, we on the road this evening. We on the road this evening. How you feeling, man?
I feel like that. That's how I feel. I feel like that. Everything is up, man. Like, and what a perfect word, community, right? I wasn't expecting it. And this is just a perfect timing for it because the state of society right now got people picking and choosing kind of sort of, right? Or looking like they might want to start picking and choosing sides, right? And that's what we talking about, right? Like, right.
Yeah.
So kind of sort of.
No, it is a lot of picking sides going on. It is a lot of dynamics to community, you know, at least
a lot.
At least thinking I know something about the word.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about just on what we think on what I know, on what I think you know.
Yeah, right. What the meaning of it is, you know, what community means, but what is it defined as? And that's what we do here on Cigar Sundays.
Hell yeah,
y'all. We break down words. You know, that's why we say we smoking on words with two big nerds, myself and the guy Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And tonight, y'all, our word is community. We gonna define it. We have 3 questions that we formulate our conversation around and exchange insights. And we have a good time. Make sure that if y'all want to leave comments or answer the questions, you know, feel free to. We encourage y'all to. We like to see what y'all think about these questions and these words, you know, how they may affect you in your community or in your walk of life. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and get to the questions that we're going to be shaping our conversation around this evening. Our first question is, what is your idea of a perfect community and what is it made up of? That question is directed to our viewers and the Cigarden Panel. We both going to be answering, giving our ideas of a productive community and what it's made of. And we're going to do that before we get into the definition, y'all. The second question this evening will be, how can community impact the well-being and mental health of a person? If it even can. Does it even pertain to, does community even play a part on well-being and mental health? We're going to find that out, but we're going to know that after the definition. And then our third question will be this evening is, does community have importance? If yes or no, explain why. And we know what importance is. I would think everybody has the basic understanding of that's important. So our first question now is, what is your idea of a productive community and what is it made up of?
Great, great questions as always, God. Um, so firstly, I'm a do what I was grown, or what I've been taught to do, right? And when I think about community, I break it down into common unity, right? That's how I come to think of the word. That's how I come to address it and approach it, right? So when I think of a productive community, the first thing I think about in real reality is is a community that generates that what's the right word where it's like where it can be distinct, where it says like that section of that zip code or that area, they generate so much money and they benefit the county, they benefit the city just because that section exists. Like I want to, like a productive community benefits everybody around them, not just themselves alone.
The business district,
Like kind of like business districts.
the business district.
Perfect, right? Because it's not just them making money, like just because they exist in itself, everybody else benefits, right? Like to me, that's a productive community. Not necessarily a business district, but one that um, serves the outside, right? One that people uh, want to attach themselves to, even if just by name alone or association, right? They want to have access to enter, right? They don't want to, something that they don't want to be excluded from,
Right.
you know. When I think about what does it take to create that, like it's super simple. The answer, it's just hard to get there.
Man,
Um, Simply put, it just take like-minded people.
that's a tough one.
Just-
Like-minded.
right. And I feel like we might be early. I feel like we misunderstand community with blood relatives and think that our blood relatives, our slash family
Mhm.
equals our community, right? And I think a lot of us get pigeonhole ourselves or trap ourselves into that thought process. And what they say, if you are surrounded by nine broke people, you will be the 10th one, right?
Right.
So just because, to me and for me, just because we share blood and genetics doesn't mean that we should spend a whole lot of time around each other, because we may negatively impact each other. Because I may want to do other things, and it benefits me to be around people that want to do maybe not exactly those things per se, but other things, period.
I get that.
Right. So that's, to me, a like-minded person is somebody uh that's down to get busy, that recognize that they are already winning because they woke up and,
Cause
and got an opportunity, and they are taking full advantage of the opportunity, um, on purpose, right? They are living intentful. So to me, it takes those people uh, putting their thoughts together and putting their actions forward to get a productive community, right? And that's hard, getting like-minded people to get what they say. We out here, we just spread apart. That's it's hard, bro. Because
yeah,
the spread apart part is, it make you feel lonely, make you feel like you pushing a boulder uphill by yourself, and all you got is a bunch of negative Nancy's talking about all they're gonna do is tear it down anyway. But what about when your chickens get sick? But what about when your rabbits get sick?
Yeah, right.
That's what I got, God. That's what I got. I got like-minded people. Uh, I got a product because you said productive. A productive community benefits um the citizens within the residents as well as the surrounding uh neighborhood, so to speak.
Okay. Okay. Definitely, man. To highlight some of the things you said, like, man, where we start. So with the family part, the family aspect, like people do get stuck on that is their only community. And it should be looked at as like it's one of my communities, like, and this is me not knowing the definition of community. This is just me coming from what I think it means to me, right? And how I approach the word now without full knowledge and comprehension of the definition and understanding of it. So I'm like, I have a community that I have to cultivate with my wife. I have a community that I have to cultivate with my children. Like, I have a community that I have to cultivate that is my family. I have a work community that I have to cultivate as well, that I have to be responsible for, accountable, you know. So I think you're absolutely right when you said that people will limit themselves to just thinking that this is just my community. And then when you aren't around like-minded people who they don't necessarily have to be, like you said, doing the same thing, but it has to facilitate something. We got somebody that we got on the network, and shout out to them, shout out to Just Entertainment. Like, he's doing some other things that I'm gonna let him present them when he's ready to present them, but just using as an example, like when you come to the podcast, do you have other things that you are doing that you can actively promote that are yours, that benefit you? Then you don't have to feel like I'm just there for you, for your thing. And that's what I encourage, you know, and that's looking at it as it's a community, because like you said, God, like you're supposed to benefit off the resources that are in that community as well,
Word, word.
So I should be thankful that you willing to work with me, and then I should open all my resources up to work with you, so that way we can both grow and build. And that the platforms, is, you got input, it's yours. Say what you need.
Word.
Let's do it. So I think that a lot of people just don't know how to apply like the functionality of this is this community, and it requires this attention and this nurturing, and then you have this community over here and it has this. Some people would say relationships, but are you building? Because if the way I'm interpreting community is something is being built, because like you said, there's a center, there's an epicenter, there's a business center. There are activities around the community. There are things for people to be involved in. It's educational places. It's resources, and things that are going to be beneficial. So that's what I would think that a community looks like. I think right now we have neighborhoods, and people are confused because they've never been taught how to behave in a community, because we haven't seen it. So they'll be in a place where they desire community, but they exemplify neighborhood behavior, and that's not to down neighborhood, because it's such thing as a nice neighborhood, right? Okay. But the nice neighborhood is nice because of the communal efforts, to my understanding, of the people that are in it. Like if it's gated, it's a reason why the people can afford to live back there behind the gate, and they conduct themselves a certain way. It's rules, and they
And
all value that. There's a community equal level of value for being in that space, because everybody ain't living like this. Everybody can't be over
word,
here.
word,
You know, you
word.
ungrateful son of a, you know what I'm saying? You know, you
Word.
unthankful, you know, like realize that, you know, and then act like community. But I get it that we not taught about community, because it's either you gotta be over here or on this side, like you was talking about earlier. It's either you
And
over there
and
or
take
you
that,
not.
God, that gated community that's inside that neighborhood raises the value. Hey, peace, Dr. Mo. That gated community that's inside that neighborhood raises the value of the homes. If you're a homeowner in that neighborhood, like that gated community raises your value up, right? So it's a benefit to you, right? That's what I'm saying,
Absolutely.
right? Even with they gate shut, it's still a benefit to you.
It's still a benefit to you. Shout out to Sasha. Uh, it's still a benefit to you, you know, because everything that is in there now, if it's functioning right, then everything there is a resource. So if I grow fruit, right, then I can share that with my within my community. If somebody does this, has a skill set or a trade, then you can share that within your community, you know. So it's like
And
that's community.
I like the word share,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Because that's interpretable, right? Because it can be good, it can be exchange of monetary, like goods and services or whatever, or it can literally be bartering, or it can literally be like I'm gonna be a good person to you, so you can be a good person to me, and we just gonna take care of each other in this community, right? Because you might be down bad one day, it may not be able to give me no tomatoes or something like that, but you still need sugar or whatever, right? I got you.
okay.
Yeah.
Or people could share bad habits.
Or people could share bad habits.
You see, that they already have, that they don't want to correct because they don't want to be no better version of themselves.
Sharing bad habits. That's crazy.
You know, so that's not a communal. That's off key, because if nobody's else is conducting themselves like that, then why do you feel like it's okay for you to conduct? You know,
So interesting. I think sharing bad habits, those I think that is a community, it's just not a productive one. Right?
there we go.
Because they like minded in a mug, right? Like they literally sharing bad habits, right? They want to be doing that, so that's what they do. So it is a community. Excuse me, it is a community, but it's just not productive in the sense that I'm saying is a productive community.
Okay, and that's what we talk about. Like, okay, I agree, but the productive community, like this, the trick. That is a productive community to who? The people, the
Yeah,
private prisons,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
the social economic systems that, you know,
yeah,
do all the things that people think is bad. That are oppressions that that target the lower class, that target, you know, the lower socioeconomic classes. You know, all the railroads and things. The you won't sit still because you won't spank a ass. So here goes some drugs.
yeah,
You know, so like all of these things are just pluses
yeah.
for those involved, for those
For the other
communities.
side, for the other
Yeah,
side.
they
Yeah,
just pluses.
yeah, that's true.
So it's just, if you in business of treating, you know, dysfunction, then there is a, you know, there's a lane for it. There's a market, you know. And what are you participating in? And that's where I'll be like, you know, like, we not, one thing about it, I don't know the true definition of community, but I'm not participating in no shit like that.
Facts, not on purpose,
not on purpose.
right? Like again, I'm going by my definition. Nah. What I said about being productive is what productivity is, right? Like, and it's not corny. It's not selfish. Like it has to be what you say, a resource,
Has to be a resource.
right? It has to be consistent, right? It has to be shareable, right? Like it has to be valuable, right? Like just can't do stuff and say you productive. But what you do? You rubbed your hands together. Okay. Is it cold outside? Or you think you about to get some money? That's why you doing this? Or you about to go rob somebody? That's why you doing this? Like what are you producing? Why are you doing this? Like what's the point? What's the point?
What is the point? Because there is no solution, right?
All right, so being productive. So yeah, man, like I'm not about none of that stuff, none of that going backwards, negative. Um, we just gonna stay in this mud and just keep getting deeper and deeper in mud and never dig ourselves out. Never stand on each other's shoulders and climb on each other's backs to get out.
It's crazy. I mean, you can offer it and a person will a person will think about something that happened 30 years ago, you know, and they haven't realized like we still alive.
Yeah,
So
we survived that,
we
right?
survived that trauma, so what are we going to do now to make things better, you know so if you get that, if you can't get that from a person, then I'd say they don't belong in the community, because if they can't see that, it's going to be more beneficial for us to work together. And anything that happened in the past, like if we can't get over that, how do you move? How do you ever move forward? That just mean you a dweller. You hold on to stuff. So that means while everybody else trying to get back to the community and build something, actually build something real, something that's going to be beneficial to everybody. That's going to be a resource for everyone.
Everybody that's in the community.
Everyone that's in the community. You gain from it. I gain from it. The whole community gains from it. It's like something like keeping your property looking presentable. Like the other houses, if they sell, other people move in, they might tell, oh man, this community looks nice, blah 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 blah. My value go up. Somebody maybe to put all these different things play a part in community. If you're going to practice community, from what I assume the meaning of community to be, it's not in a community, it's not look for ways to break the rules and cut corners. It is everybody follows the same rules because we value them, because it benefits all of us. That's a real community. If not, you faking the fraud. You're not doing it. You're not it. You're not participating in community. So it's going to be interesting to see what the definition of community is. But I think when we ask our first question of, what is the idea of a productive community and what is it made up of? All of those things, God, that we just went over, having cohesiveness, everybody on the same page, everybody following the rules is beneficial for everyone. Everyone is a resource. Everyone gains. Everyone puts the same effort and energy into it, or at least their roles, at least whatever their roles or assignments are. Because somebody may be stronger than another person and have to do a little bit more heavy lifting.
Correct.
But it all works. It all benefits the community. You know, that's why in what we call negative communities, they got somebody who like the boss of everything, right?
That's true.
You know, it's a gang leader or somebody in the neighborhood who run everything or whatever, and everybody, the people who's supposed to know what's going on, and the elders know what's going on. They've been there forever, so they know who children that is. You know, like they family probably been, you know, a whole history of just, you know, poisoning the neighborhood type shit.
Sharing negativity.
You know, so like I can't glorify it no more. You know, I ain't gonna knock, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. That's the way. I just say, like, you don't have to do that. It is other ways out here. Try to put that same amount of energy that you put into that illegal into something legal. You might surprise yourself. So, and it'll be more beneficial for the community. You know, whether it's the community of your family, the community of your peers, the community of the people that live around you, and other community spaces, you know, like, because we all on this planet, like, ain't too many places you could go where it ain't like it's a set of rules and shit. You know, like that's what come with freedom. Rules come with freedom, because even it's a code of conduct of how you gotta conduct yourself in all situations at all times. So you're free to do that.
Yo, speaking of that freedom, right? Like if your thought of freedom is you being free to do harm on to other people and put down on other people because you can just do what you want to do, I'm saying you a monster and you don't deserve to be looking and breathing.
I feel you on that. But everybody's doing what they want to do.
Tracking that.
You
Tracking
know,
that.
everybody's
Tracking
doing
that.
what they want to do.
Tracking that.
You know,
However,
they're not putting
however,
down on people though.
no, I ain't with that. I ain't with no
Yeah,
bully. I ain't with
you
no
know,
bully. Like do what you want to do, but if just don't make it involve me.
but we have this in American culture, in the
Hmm.
communities, you know, where it's like, oh, level up. Oh, you know, step your game up. Okay, do this. Like it's certain things that can be used for encouragement that get misinterpreted and get
Yeah.
taken out, and you know, and then get glorified, get over glorified to the point of ignorance.
So even that whole step your game up, right? It's encouragement kind of when it's asked for, right? And it's a put down when you telling somebody, yo, little nigga, you gotta step your game up, right? Like you ain't doing as good as me. Like if you just come out just telling somebody that they gotta do something different, like who you? They ain't ask you for no help, they ain't ask you for no assistance. They might be living their life good, right? That person might not be the right person for your community, right? And you should leave them right where they at. But if they ask you like, yo, like what you think about my act, like however cats ask for help, I don't know, right? Like me, I'm straight up when I ask for help. When I ask people for anything, I'm very direct. So
Right.
um I think when they ask for that and you like, yo, you gotta step your game up, right? Like if you're trying to like what you trying to do with your if you're trying to do a podcast, like what you trying to do with your podcast, right? Like how many views you trying to get? You trying to be a superstar? You trying to look like you on TV? Like what you trying to do, right? Like you can't have a flip phone and trying to look like you know on it is what it is or something like that, right? Like it's like you got to step your game up.
Right.
However, if you like, yeah, look at me, I'm on podcast, I'm on TV, man, look, I'm on top of the world.
At least one time. At least one time.
and,
You
and
know,
you
because if
you
you
walk
ain't
into the
doing it
room.
for views, if you ain't doing it
No,
for
but not not,
views, and
not
if
even
you ain't,
not
yeah,
even
you
not even
are.
not even the whole you're not doing it for views. I'm talking about the part where you walk into the room and talk about look, yo, look at me, everybody, I made it. Y'all all need to step y'all game up because y'all not like me.
They
I'm
might
saying,
need, they might need to, God.
I'm saying,
They
don't
might
do
need,
that.
they might need
Don't do
to.
that. Don't
Look,
do that. Don't do that.
look. Go ahead, God. I'm fucking with you, but
Don't do
they
that.
might, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Right?
champagning the campaign of, you know,
And
I'm
if the
like,
room and if the room is built for that, I'm saying give it to them, because that might be
give it to
that
them.
might be the community, right? It might be a bunch
Yeah,
of people like us that will appreciate us coming in to tell us, yo, you need to step it up, and this is how you do it,
right.
because it ain't gonna be on some old aha, I'm on TV and you can't be. It's gonna be like, yo, I'm on TV. Let me show you how to get on TV.
Right. Now that's what I was, that's really where I was at with it, where it's like, okay, don't tell me to step my game up and you don't have no game to give me.
That's what I'm saying, right?
You
Because
know,
again, that's see, because if you say you ain't got no game to give me, that means that you're in the asking spirit. That means that you are
yeah,
willing to accept some information, and somebody just putting down. They ain't telling you how to do nothing.
yeah,
They just telling you you need to step your game up. You need to do better. You
yeah.
know,
But don't come with no bozo shit though.
don't
You know
come
what
with
I'm
no
saying?
bozos.
Yeah, don't come with some, some
You know,
far fetch,
you could be an astronaut. You know what I'm saying?
like, well, it depends on who you talking to. Are you talking to one of us at our age, or are we talking to a,
Yeah,
a
I'm talking.
young person who is
Got
very
potential.
interested in science and
Nah, I'm talking to somebody our age that done.
they probably already a goddamn astronaut. That's why they life so space cadetish.
Up and away.
They probably already in goddamn space somewhere
You know,
floating around.
but that's what it is realism, right? And we just need to know, right? If it's cool if you want to feel good about yourself and you want to brag on yourself, right? But again, you don't have to put people down.
Yeah, yeah, the putting down, the punching down,
You
you know.
punching down. That's how they say it, punching down,
Yeah,
right?
they
Like,
call it punching down. Sometimes the truth is the truth though. Like, and that's where people gotta draw the
I'm
line
with
at
that.
between
With that.
between like, is it a punch down, or is it, and then that's what we was talking about, like, it's situational because, if I'm saying get your game, if I just got robbed and I'm in the hood and I go back to my big homie and be like, man, they robbed me, and he tell me, man, you gotta step your game up. That might have a whole different meaning from also like, now I shouldn't have been out there like this, and now to where if I'm on now, the big homie might teach you need to get a gun. They might say that without saying it, right? That's what step your game up. Yeah, okay, but they teaching you something bad because you just gonna go cause more violence. You might stop yourself from getting robbed, but it might cost somebody some life because robbers ain't gonna stop, right? And being in that life, being in that space, and putting yourself in situations for that to be happening. Okay, so you might have to use that tool. Now, you could look at it as that's a resource because if they wouldn't get there, then they could be over victimized. All right. Now, we know that's the negative environment, but saying, let's take it to a different situation where somebody's working and somebody, or it's that same kid is on the football field, on a basketball field, all right, or in a young astronauts class, like we just, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep that energy too, because we ain't gotta just be on the field sweating and shit. Okay.
we could be up in space floating.
Yeah, we could be up in space in the AC, you know. So like
That's
if in a
funny.
real way, So I mean, it's options.
Yeah,
But
facts.
what we talk about now is who's giving what's the community like leading the direction, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later on because we see things like that. That's a great example, God, when we talk about the astronaut, because we see a community within American culture that they encourage their children to be in medicine. We see this.
True.
This is a real thing, So what things are they doing that can be taken? you know, and then saying, okay, can that be implemented, or is that not cool? Is that just want the big old check and then not do nothing? Shouldn't have to do nothing else. That'll dwindle. People won't. Nobody will learn anything. I heard somebody say on a podcast. I can't quote their name. I wish I could, but I was just flipping through, and um, and the guy said that it's not that the rich, the wealthy children are more smarter or are more privileged. It's that they get more training. So because they get more training, it's not that they brighter or anything. It's just that they get more training. So the more training that they have, it's just, and I was just like, wow, like that's a real dope perspective to look at it, because from a young age, you're getting trained to manage these resources that have already been
Correct.
made for you already. So you just getting trained on how to manage these things.
I like that word training opposed to the word exposure.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
training is real. Training is somebody actively doing something to purposefully put something into you that's going to benefit you and them and everybody for the future.
yeah,
Exposure sound like an accident.
right. Exposure is, you get to go somewhere on a port call through your service. Like you got exposed to it. Like nobody really trained you on going in the environment. Nobody taught you how
Facts.
to speak the language, and made sure that they made certain that it's important that you know how to speak this, because we own property over there, or because you may want to do business over there one day. So
Dope.
you need to know a little bit of this language. So I'm training you to learn that. Whether you use it or not, date somebody, use it. You're rich, you know. But
We got
young people
exposed.
young people have the date anybody mindset mentality anyway. So it's like, you know, where's the training though? And I guess that's where the things come from in the community. It's not a lot of resources. It's not a lot of this. It's not a lot of that. So especially with the what we talked about the last week, is the board of education even, what is their capacity now? Do we even know what they got going on? And what they'll look like going forward. So when people are counting on those things to shape the education and not looking at, let's see what we lack in our own communities. And that's why I say it's neighborhood, and people don't like to self-reflect. I don't know why like people like to sulk in I don't know why this pride thing exists about improving, about self-improvement, about improving oneself. I don't know why it's like, like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to, I'm good with this right here. And it's like, nah, but you really fucking struggling. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's that humble word, God. I think people trying to keep themselves humble so that they don't get a big head and get that whole fear of success crap. Right? They like, I think a lot of people are really scared of making it, right? Because then once you make it, then now you're responsible and accountable to yourself and for the outcome, right? And it's cool to be able to throw a rock in the crowd, but when the jumbo screen is zoomed in on you, and they do the instant replay, and they catch you doing that, and it's like, oh my God, everybody saw me. Now you start shrinking down, right? It's like it's not, you don't feel as safe and secure, and you don't feel as proud, right? So I think it's them trying to keep themselves humble because they scared to succeed. They scared to do any damn thing. Because they don't want to be accountable and responsible. It's easier to have a messiah.
It's easier to have a messiah, right? I advise everybody to go check out our episode on humble, y'all, because we don't use humble around here at DB Chef TV for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It's
On
not good.
the network, on the internet. Now, I am not the same person online that I am in real life, but humble don't come with me none of them places. Okay, so go look at the definition of humble, and then tell me if you still want to be that. So we're gonna go through a couple of these comments real quick.
I haven't even looked at the comments.
Yep, shout out Josephus, welcome back. We appreciate you pulling up. He said I've done a lot of community service. And we thank you for that community service. A lot of people needed, get back out there. I remember when community service wasn't just court ordered. Now, what you mean, Joe? You done a lot of community service court ordered? Or is that or you just went and volunteered out there, man? But yeah, but community service was, I can remember like going outside and just picking up trash. Like we just had it in our own neighborhood. Shout out to Akron Street. I remember we would do that. We had a day it would just clean up. Everybody in the neighborhood, we had trash cans, and you go up and so they encouraged that we kept the neighborhood clean.
Think about what you just said, God. They kept the neighborhood clean. They had trash cans. I remember hearing insults. I remember it being said in an insulting way that you're gonna be stuck being a trash man when you grow up. You're gonna be stuck out there, being a street sweeper. Right? People look down on those necessity jobs and those careers that are stable city jobs, county jobs, state jobs, that like somebody got to do all these things. And I remember picking weeds at Prospect Park down at and around at Grand Army Plaza, where they take all the pictures at, and kids that wasn't working during the summer, laughing at all of us that's at work making money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I remember some of us feeling like, yo, we look kind of corny. And I remember thinking like, nah, like I'm literally getting my money right now so I can go get my comic book. Like I had like whole plans for my stuff. So like it's
yeah, but it was
that whole being laughed at was difficult. And you being laughed at by people that don't have that's probably going to try to rob you later.
Yeah, they don't see the value in it. And that's because it's really not a community, based on, we haven't defined it yet, y'all. We're going to get to the definition real quick. But based on it doesn't seem like it's a community. It seems like that's a neighborhood, because you got these people over here doing this, and you got this person over here doing this. So everybody doing something different. Nobody is thinking about what things benefit us collectively in the community, So we get those different results. And that's why I be on the hood.
Right, like you
be
imagine
on the community no more. It be on the hood now. That's why.
Like you figure there's a trash problem, like a bunch of rats and stuff like that. Like a community would get together and take it upon themselves to have burn days and set that crap on fire, since the city
they will police the community.
Since the city taking too long to clean it up. Like if we have a rodent problem and a rodent problem is caused by all this trash laying around, but in the neighborhoods or in the hoods, right? Like everybody's like, this is not my place. I'm renting anyway. It's not my community anyway. It's not, none of this is mine. However, all of this is what identifies me, and I get to maintain or get my black card, quote unquote, or my hood card or my hood pass, right? Just by being adjacent or in this vicinity. Like it's all a bunch of mind fucking, bro. Like it's right, because you can literally set that trash on fire, right? And you can solve your own problems.
Or you can send it to that guy who's turning plastic into fuel. Shout out to that brother. I seen him on Instagram. I don't know your name, bro, but I believe it. You know what I'm saying? I see it. You've been doing it a lot. It looked
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. You
Find that
know,
guy and have him teach classes, right? And have that technology go around the nation.
somebody got to put him on, man, for real. You know, I don't know what he got going on. I think somebody gonna give him a bag, though. To be honest, if we know how things really work.
Especially if it really worked.
Yeah, like if it's not for play, like man, he probably on a private jet somewhere.
On his own island.
Yeah, on his own island, right? Josephus Comedy says, I started the show, the Silent Cigar Review Show. Episode 4 is out now. It's a cigar brand that gives back to the community by helping those who suffer from PTSD and other mental illness.
Appreciate that.
For sure. Shout out to Josephus Comedy. Y'all go check that out. The cigar brand that gives back. It's the Silent Cigar Review Show. For sure. Sasha said, ain't nothing wrong with a little push. For sure.
You right.
You know?
You right. If it ain't nothing wrong with a little push that is asked for, right? Like if you push somebody that ain't ready for it or don't want it, they might feel attacked. Right? They may feel like that you got that you assaulted them instead of encouraged them or assisted them or helped them.
That might be their problem though, because they don't realize where they at.
But it's all a problem though, right? Like
Yeah, because if
it's
they put themselves in a position to be told that, like, then they have to hold themselves be accountable of like, why am I in the position to be experiencing this?
yeah.
You know, so
And that's like a consideration too, because they should know you and know that if you are pushing them, that you the type of person that only push forward. Right? Like you ain't pushing back or pushing down or whatever, right?
yeah,
Like
it's only up.
it's only up, right? Like it's there, right? So that's just a like consideration, like you said, is on them.
Yeah, you know, so
Yeah. That person is not like minded.
yeah, think about how they're not like-minded, right? To like think about how you got there. How did you even allow yourself to get once I realized how important it was for me to think about how I allowed myself to get in that situation, whatever this situation is,
Yeah.
you know, that's when things became I had less situations to have to reflect on that type of shit. You know, because I start putting more purpose into the things that I do, into my actions and things like that, you know. So I think that that's part of that would be a good practice within a community, you know, that mindset. If you could get that as a collective of it, a communal mindset where everybody says, you know what, let's think about how this will affect the next person and how it may even affect me, how what it may come back on me as, how I might even get perceived as or it received as, you know, just for putting myself in a bad situation, putting myself in a good situation. But the first thing I'm looking at is how do I look where I'm going? And if I ain't focused on where I'm going, then you're gonna be stuck where you at. You ain't got no plan. You ain't trying to go nowhere. Everything just gonna be cool, and you know, it's gonna be that. Some people deserve that. I think that's what they deserve because that's all they desire. Because if they,
You deserve what you desire.
yeah,
Like real talk, right? Like you really deserve what you desire. So if you want to, if you desire to do half-ass stuff, like you deserve for it to go halfway. Like you deserve, like you got lucky if it went 100 and you got everything and you ain't really do nothing. Like you really got lucky. You can
that's luck. That's luck.
that's luck.
Yeah, because the work didn't get done. So
You didn't do that. You didn't do anything for this to
yeah,
happen. So you can't rely on this as a consistent lifestyle, right? Like you got to take this lucky opportunity or this lucky chance,
it
and
depends on how lucky you get, guy. You know
you
what I'm
might he might have a
saying?
lucky hand. He might just
You
be hot.
might have a real, you know, but you might hit big. you
And that's what
know?
I'm saying, right? Like,
And
and if you do hit big, you gotta take that and then do something else with it, because to rely on that to happen again repeatedly is what I'm saying is crazy.
right. But they should have the mental fortitude to know they got lucky. And then they should be thankful if they were around somebody to teach them what to do with it, if they got lucky.
If they got lucky.
Because without knowing how to manage it, once you get the luck, even if it is that once in a luck, you hit the lotto.
Yeah,
Everybody know how to spend 400 million, but don't nobody know how to keep 400 million.
yeah,
It's a difference. Everybody got all the shit they want to buy, but don't nobody know what to buy. So that way your grandbabies got your great great grandbabies got 400 million when it's time when they need it. So that's a difference. That's the difference between who will have it and who won't have it.
hmm.
They have more resources, exactly.
Yeah,
In the communities, yes. Exposed to more resources, yes. In positive communities.
yeah.
Go Brooklyn.
Go Brooklyn. Hey,
And that's what we got to care about, where to live, no matter where we live. Yeah, we got to care about that. No matter where you live.
that's 100. That's the statement right there, God. Because we got to get to there to where we got to care about where we live, no matter where we live.
Yeah,
Right? Like the fact that I'm here means that it got to be safe, it got to be good. But if we just keep adopting the negative attributes of what a black neighborhood is supposed to look like and what it's supposed to be, like it will never be better than that, right? Because everybody's gonna keep maintain people, foreigners are gonna moving in to said neighborhoods and maintain the status quo for the neighborhood while benefiting it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just gonna
right. And I feel you. I feel you. Like you said, black neighborhood, black communities. I'm like, and see, that's where you said foreigners moving in, literally. Not being
not
derogatory or
not not not
negative. Like
not
people
yeah,
actually coming from foreign countries other than the U.S. And moving in, and like you said, maintaining the status quo. So it puts us in a situation where it's like, I know it put me in a situation, and people like-minded like myself, where it's like, damn, do I want to be in the quote unquote black community, because it's not even acting like a community? Or is it do I look at it as it's going to be nicer over here, more beneficial in this gated community? It's going to be more resources over here in this gated community. So that's where I'm like, in 1,000,000,000% agreements
yeah,
with Miss Sasha right here, to say that's why we got to care about where we live, no matter where we live.
yeah.
It can't just be like, oh, I'm just here, fuck it.
I'm just a renter. None of this stuff is mine, so it don't matter. Nah, it matters because you
You
live in
know,
it.
or I'm a piece of shit homeowner. I don't care about keeping my shit clean. I don't care about, you know, uh being responsible for my property and the upkeep and the things like that, and making, like all of these things have an effect on the community. Somebody sell a house and the house sell for, cheaper than what other people paid for. Guess what? The other people houses are going down. Everything has an effect. So whether you want to be a part of the community or not, you will catch an effect.
Which is why it matters that we gotta. It has to matter no matter where we live. Like that's why that statement was so factual, right? Like it just has to matter,
Has to matter.
right? It can't be no halfway.
Can't be no half stepping, no half ass. Take it back to the hood then, if that's what you're doing. Go be with the people who don't give a fuck, who acting like it, who cool with the shit, with shitty behavior. With everybody on some Johnny Dangerous shit. you know. But you say, God, everybody clapping their hands.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? and and the show ain't even went off yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we've been smoking on the word community, and we've been talking about our first question this evening. What is your idea of a productive community, and what is it made up of? And we get ready to go ahead and get into the definition this evening of the word community. And we will be doing that through the Merriam-Webster-Dictionary.com. That is the source we will be referencing this evening for the word community. And we have community. Community is a noun, a unified body of individuals. A unified body of individuals. That's what they're giving us right off the break. Such as the people with common interests living in a particular area. So if we all want to keep our shit clean, then it's a community. If some people want to live like pigs and some people want to live clean, it's not a community because it ain't unified. Because it say the people with common interests living in a particular area. That sounds like a neighborhood. One person want to do this, one person want to do that. It's no unified body.
Facts.
B, a group of people with common characteristics or interests living together within a larger society. A group of people with common characteristics. Like, so either you got dirty characteristics or you got clean characteristics. So you can live a whole bunch of dirty people and y'all could be dirty, or you could live around with some clean people and everybody could be clean. Is that kind of like what they talking about, God?
Yeah, actually. Look
Okay.
at their questions, right? Their sentence, a community of retired people. You know what I'm saying? That's specifically if you want to be a clean person, want to be a dirty person, how you want to live.
Right. So you can be what else can we say? People who common characteristics, interested in living in a large society. Okay, well, people who want to live in a gated community and people say they want to live in condo living. Right? That's community. Those people want to live in condos. These people want to live in a gated community. These people want to live out in the suburbs. These people want to live closer to the city.
Neither one is right nor wrong, but they both have their rules. If you live in a condo, you probably can't get a big dog. So if you want a big dog, you probably can't live in a condo that got pet size restrictions.
Or you're going to have to conform to those.
Or you're going to conform to those rules.
Right. So to those rules. And that's where we haven't got there yet. But I'm seeing rules associated with this interests.
That sound like rules, yeah.
Unified body.
That sound like rules.
You know, common characteristics or interests. You know, living together. Continuing to read, see a body of persons of common and especially professional interests scattered through a larger society. So it even community. Remember, we was talking about a work community, right? So we was talking about that, and they even break it down to academic, where they've been giving us the different ones. You know,
wow, that joint say scattered through a larger community. That's literally what my shirt said.
Scattered. We all over the place, right?
Wow.
So you got the academic community, the scientific community. That's what we was talking about. Shout out to them and to the young astronauts, of tomorrow. Okay. We got a body of persons or nations having a common history or common social, economic, and political interests. A body of persons or nations having a common history or common social, economic, and political interests. E, a group linked by a common policy. Policy is rules, always. Policy is always rules, a guideline. an interacting population of various kinds of individuals, such as a species and a common location. Then we got state, commonwealth, a social state or condition, joint ownership or participation. Joint ownership or participation. Then we have common character, likeness. Then you say, God, that they had to be like-minded.
Definitely.
So common character, likeness. Then we have community as social activity, fellowship. Social activity, how we socialize, how we fellowship. Because we have to be doing it together. Or it is not community. It's just me doing this and you doing that. That's some neighborhood shit.
Neighborhood
shit. Society at large. The interests of the community. All right. And we would jump into the thesaurus. And we have community in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways, as in town, as in colony, as in crowd, as in fraternity, as in similarity, and as in brotherhood, community. So let's look at it as in town. The people living in a particular area. Around here where we live at. So that's the town, the village, the residents, the neighborhood. So there you go. So the community is bigger than the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or is neighborhood only assigned to community as in a town? So neighborhood, let's hit that real quick. Let's see what that does.
Yeah, you're right, because it's a specific space.
That's it. It's just as in vicinity. So neighborhood is derogatory when we talking about the community.
Yeah, because it's just that area.
It's just that area. It has nothing to do with doing tangible things that allow that community to be unified as a body of individuals.
Now, if all those people decided to at some point to move to that neighborhood, to that area,
then now their practice of their communal practice will follow them.
Correct.
And we talked about that earlier. And
Correct.
you just mentioned that. I just mentioned it too when we was talking about the community that we see, the East Indian community that we see in America, that it doesn't matter where they live, the neighborhood.
Correct.
Right. In the Jewish community, who else we see it in? We see it in places where they have like little Odessas and they have Chinatowns.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So we see all these places where it don't matter what neighborhood, if the group of people move there, then they all still gonna be, you know,
on their own type time.
Yeah, controlling their own narrative. You know, it don't matter where we at. If we over here, we still gonna be making sure our kids do this. We still gonna be spending money with each other first. You know, we still gonna be making sure that we control the curriculum in the schools and or make sure that it's extracurriculars in the area and activities and, you know, resources for the kids to be able to build and grow in this community.
Yeah. Nah, you ain't wrong.
So it don't matter where they at. They could go to South America and do it. They could go to Australia and do it. They would go to, it wouldn't matter. They in New York and Florida and Virginia, Cali, Oregon, Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa, where you want to go.
Yeah.
They still gonna function the same as a community. So we got as in town, or people living in a particular area, town, village, residents in a particular area. Neighborhood is just the area. A commune, inhabitants, culture. Community can be culture because people repeat it. And that's what we're talking about just now when we were talking about those cultures that they have. It is the culture of those people to do that, of those
I don't know. I
ethnic
feel
groups.
click on that word for whatever reason. I think they're looking at that. To me, I'm looking at culture that looks like a culture sample, like a clump of spit or something like that under a microscope.
You talking about the medical thing? A
Yeah,
culture.
that's how I looked at that.
Okay. So what do we say right here? As in civilization.
As a civilization, yeah.
Okay, hold up. And then let's go to the definition right here. Let's go to the definition. All right. The customary beliefs, social forms, and material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. So it is not, the culture. It's not a cut under your chin.
A culture sample.
I don't even know whether that. I don't even know if we're using that right.
I know.
It might not even be the same spelling,
It
but
might not be the same spelling.
like I'm not a medical professional. You know,
Oh,
I'm
that's
I'm,
funny.
I'm good with a tourniquet though. You won't bleed out around me. I know how to stop the bleeding and shit. So, but yeah, they talking about customary beliefs, social forms, and material traits of racial,
Word,
religious, and social groups. Yeah, man.
word. Yeah, yeah. Community. Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. So, and it becomes culture because it becomes replicated,
On purpose, intentional.
right? And that's
Yeah,
why we see it. That's why we see,
yeah.
that's why we was talking about just using that one thing as an example, like that ethnic group of people say, we want our children to be doctors. So we see this happening,
Correct.
like consistently. That's culture. At some point it was a start. It was a let's do this, and then people had to buy in to see the benefit of it. But then you start seeing more and more people, and they like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. And then now something opens up from it, and now you see it like the resources in it because now people have become successful and they want to give back to it, so they reinvest in it. They keep the community going. So now we have community as in colony, a group of people with common interests living in one place. Colony, family. Family is in community. We talked about that earlier. Your community could be your family.
Mm-hmm. Y'all share blood, right? Like, I got y'all relatives, like y'all have a common interest.
Society, company, circle, clan. The clan. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing. Then we got the band. We got the
Click.
clique.
Hey,
My clique, my
boot
crew,
camp click.
my whole troop. The set,
What word is that?
the set,
Nah, another one next to it.
coterie. Let's see that right there.
As in crowd.
As in crowd. Let's see what it says. An intimate and often exclusive group of persons with a unifying common interest or purpose. I love that word right there.
Mm-hmm.
Coterie. Yeah.
Kind of like a baby shower. Would be like a coterie.
An intimate, often exclusive group of persons.
And yeah,
Nah, I think that would be more like um a lodge.
okay, got you.
Yeah. So then we have it as in crowd. We have the word community as in crowd, crowd, network, brunch, clan, circle, clique, pack, gang, gang, organization, club, body, coven, commune, society, fold, tribe, lot, guild, ring, set, fraternity, college, elite, camp, league, clatch, in group, my faction, gallery, coalition, brotherhood, squad. I don't know that word. Close shop, shop closed, side, sorority, set, fellowship, federation, sisterhood, union, charm, circle, block, alliance, council, mess, guild, confederation, congress, order, solidarity. Okay. Then we have the word community as in fraternity. We just went through that one. Fraternity, profession, corp, society, brotherhood, association, vocation, federation, organization, fellowship,
Sodality.
sodality, or is the soda liddy? Sodality, guild, calling, club, and guild again, and guild without the U. Then we have similarity, the state, the quality or state of having many qualities in common, similarity. Parallelism, correspondence, resembling, comparability, a likeness. Still going to that like-minded, similar to relationship. Have to have a relationship to have a like mind, right? About some things. It don't have to be about everything, but there has to be a likeness in order for there to be a relationship as well. But they saying that's part of a community. So your relationships alone are your community. Identity, affinity, correlation, parity, equivalence, semblance, equivalency. What's that? Analogousness?
Analogous.
Analogousness.
Analogousness. Yep.
When I say analog.
Yeah. I'm looking at the word equation up there, God. And I'm saying like that's good because that's mathematical, right? Like that's no algebra really, right? Like there's no like everything gotta be known.
You gotta, yeah.
Right, like there's
Equation,
no
right?
X's, there's no Y's, there's no solving for this. Like it's me plus you. We gonna do our thing, and it's gonna come up with this. Not me plus I don't know, and maybe we might get something, and just fill in the blank with whoever last name start with that letter. Nah.
Whoever's last name, okay, you go.
You know, like for the equation to work, they got to be the right person, right? Got it. That's I like that.
Yes.
Analogousness. I like it.
Identicalness, sameness, conformity, exchangeability, par, and congruity. And then we have it last but not least, community as in brotherhood, the feeling of closeness and friendship that exists between companions. Okay, so we got brotherhood, society, company, friendship, fellowship, generosity, camaraderie, companionship, comradeship, intimacy, camaraderie, harmony, familiarity, compassion, empathy, goodwill, friendliness, affinity, rapport, committee. That's not committee. Is that committee? That's not pronounced like that. Can't be. Amity.
Kind of look like committee. I mean,
I don't think I'm pronouncing that because I thought it was two M's. I don't know. In committee, public school system, y'all. Product right here. We learning though. We still learning. We ain't stop. Sympathy, cordiality, civility, benevolence, concord, love, and community, affection, kindliness, devotion, charity, nearness, Inseparability. Wow. Chumminess. Old chums. That's my old chum. And there's a fondness. Okay. Um, but for all of these words right here, love. People got asked, like when we talking about, we not sitting up here talking about just the bad stuff that be happening in so-called communities that are actually just neighborhoods, just locations. Is it any love going on? Is all these innocent children getting killed and all these young men and women dying over, some shit they could have talked about and solved over, you know, is that love? That ain't love. Is that compassion? That ain't no compassion. Is that some intimacy? It's some intimate fuckery. But how harmonic? How that's is it's not fellowship. It's not brotherhood. Well, they got gangs, so they consider that to be brotherhood. But it's none of these loving these words that give to working out things. The kindliness, uh, affection, sympathy, goodwill. These things don't be embodying that when we see and I ain't saying that this shit right here be going on in the gated communities either. Because you have people who just got some money and can move somewhere and they bring they fucked up ass habits with them.
Yeah, but you gotta you gotta keep in consideration. Look how many different not different there's six different synonyms for community, right? There's six different ways that it can be applied, and a gated community might not have nothing to do with morality and all about a financial thing, right? That might be their interest, right?
Well,
Like
there has to be some morality to it because
I don't know, God, like
it have to be like because okay, so like unless the gated community is a gated community where they allow newness, right? So if it's a gated community that allows people to walk around the neighborhood nude, they like this is what we do. Like when you move over here, you can walk around nude, right? I then people who sign up for that shit, they signing up for that. But in that neighborhood, if you catch somebody outside walking around naked, somebody calling it that's not.
call the police on your
Yeah,
ass
you calling the police. Like why you
as
walking
they
around? You
as
either
you
because you either
should.
on drugs or something, but you the kids, it's elders, it's other people don't want to see you naked and shit like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so there should be a moral compass in there to try to get that person some help. Unless we a new gated community. So that's what I'm saying. Like there has to be some thread of moral something. All of this stuff ain't just like, oh, we just over here and we got money and don't nobody give a fuck about what's
No,
going on.
I'm saying no. All I'm saying is that it could be that, right? Like it could, because looking at these, right? Because your question was a productive community, right?
Right for question one, yeah.
Yeah.
Productive.
Hold on a second, God.
Yeah.
Hey, my bad.
No, you good, family.
Yeah, like all these like your question was about being a productive community, right? And all this stuff is like even love, right? Because even if you look at the word, like, look at a gang, for instance, and the gang and what we know gang behavior to be, not just a group of people that's together doing a thing, but what we know the negative activities that gang members do. They may say they love each other. They may say
Absolutely.
that they're doing it out of love, right? But none of their actions are conducive with actual love.
It is in their world though.
And that's what I'm saying. In their world, which makes it not productive, because that love is not felt outside of them.
Right.
In fact, it's only hurt and pain and fear
Right.
is what I feel from your love. The way that you love makes me scared, right? So
It don't
that
benefit the community.
it's a neighborhood. It takes away the community and relegates it to a neighborhood,
I believe so.
right? Based on what I'm seeing here so far, and because it got to be productive, right? Like I didn't see in here where in the definition where the word productive was assigned, but it was alluded to, unified, but that don't necessarily mean productive, right? It could be on some drill stuff, right? Like it can be on some more negative.
Well, I say yes, it can be, but they doing something. They getting something done. All right. That doesn't mean that it's a positive or a negative, right? We just our question was geared towards the positive.
Yeah,
But like they had the boycott, right? The boycott thing that they was trying to get everybody to do on February
28th.
28th.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, nobody gave a well, this is what we're trying to get by doing this.
correct.
They didn't give that. It was just more of present yourself as a unified body.
And that's what.
Not knowing what the game was.
Yeah,
It was just like so to me it's looking at like that's why I said it looked to me like one of them damn group poll, one of them polls, a Gallup poll, where it's
yeah.
just like trying to see how many people will unify as a body, like how many people will get together, how many people will form this community of people who, you know, because at
Because if
some
you can
point,
get them, then you can ask a different question later to actually get something. I can see
yeah,
I can see it.
yeah, if you can get a whole bunch of people to participate and form a community, then you can capitalize on it as well, you know.
100%.
Yeah, so like you can get it to spend money. You can give people, hey y'all, well, we need to do this to spend this money and show people and show who what is the result? What do we get? What do we gain as a community by standing as a unified body of individuals? So we all have the common interests, but what do we gain? Now I'm using that to the boycott. As far as a community, it is just they will then be a community. They became a community. All the people that were sending out and didn't do no shopping on February 28th, they became part of that community. They
Yeah,
became part of that unified body of individuals.
correct.
So they stood as a community. Now, how it was recorded or measured or stuff like that, because if these things can't be recorded and measured, then how do you get the data on effectiveness and strategy to what to do? You know,
Correct. And if all you're trying to do is count numbers and just have an effective protest and not actually effectively change the status quo, then what you call it a Gallup poll is all you really just trying to do. You're just trying to see how popular you are, how many friends you.
that's what I'm saying, right? It's just trying to see, who we can get to actually, make the list. So then we can gauge what else can we see. Let's see what else they do. Let's put out this. See, see how far it goes. So I think these things happen. I don't think I don't think any of these things that happen like that are that just appear out of nowhere and then
Yeah,
try to get people to comply. I don't think that's not being recorded.
yeah,
You
definitely, I
know,
agree.
I don't think that those things aren't being recorded. I think they absolutely being recorded. For what purpose? I don't know. And most of the time, I
I
don't
I
really.
I agree with you. I think you're right, spot on. I think it's just to see, how many people are interested in the thing.
Yeah, because if it offers no real resolve or solution or like gain, like after we do this, I mean, even when you go take a shit, you feel relieved. So it's a gain from you taking a shit. So I don't know why fake wins are good. I don't know why a fake win feels good. We got the protest done, but we didn't get no legislation passed. Well, we'll just keep going back. Well, how many times we gonna keep going back before we realize this is the show? We
This,
just keep coming and nothing keeps happening.
we actually need a piece of paper and
You
not the
know,
protest. We need some legislation, not a march,
no,
not a twerk off.
definitely not a twerk off. Even though it was nice. Thanks, Kamala. And moving right on to the community. we smoking on community tonight, y'all. And
And clearly the community didn't want to twerk.
no, no, no. I think the twerkers voted, you know what I'm saying? But we saw how it turned out, at least how they said the polls came out. So, you
If
know,
if those is real, right?
yeah, right. It's like I guess they bring back twerking, make twerking great again. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get communities right. You know, we trying to get the twerking out of the community. Like twerking don't even belong in the community. You know, like if it do, it's a time and a place for it, but not at the presidential rally. Not at
Twerking can't be the thing to identify a people, to be an attribute of a descriptive attribute of a people. Like it can't be at a presidential rally. Like that's crazy.
yeah. You know, I'm like we don't have no, and it's just for Kamala, and I'm move on. It's like no, it wouldn't have been eloquent to have a black ballet.
Yeah,
You know, like if she was really just trying to, you know,
could
it's
have had
no,
a whole Kendrick halftime moment.
you know, like I mean something that would have been like okay, well, everybody want to know if you this or if you that. Well, I'm gonna show y'all some culture. You know, something that you ain't used to seeing that we do. We do these things too.
Yo, she'd have did the black ballerinas, bro. She'd have got the black girl magic vote all day. Like everybody would.
They don't got me on the campaign, God. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't pick a side.
I pick my side.
Yeah, I'm standing with those that stand with me.
Right,
Because when they shooting, you know what I'm saying? They gonna be shooting. If you shooting at somebody I love, I'm shooting back. It don't matter, man. So y'all
right,
don't get it twisted out there for real.
facts, facts, facts.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our second question of the evening. Y'all, we talking about community. And our second question this evening is how can community impact the well-being and mental health of a person? How can community impact the well-being and mental health of a person? And that's now after discussing the definition where we had community as a unified body of individuals or people with common interests living in a particular area. We had brotherhood, we had all these different synonyms, we had a crowd, fraternity, we had similarities. So do these things affect mental health, and does community even have an effect on one's mental health or well-being?
Yo, God, I was watching the episode of Star Talk the other day, like recently, with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Right, he had a sister on there, and she was specifically on the show to talk about epigenetics. And 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 the long and skinny of it is, um, if if your ancestors don't move from a situation, or if your people don't move from a situation, and however they deal with trauma, it's how you're going to learn to deal with trauma. And if nothing changes, even if you do move to a different situation, when presented with trauma, you're probably going to react and respond the way that you have been taught. Even if it wasn't taught to you, didn't show it to you, it might be in your genes to respond a certain way. She said she had some experiment that they did with mice in their lab. Like it was like super dope, where it proved that these things carry on. So even if the parents don't tell the children, it's the white man, or it's this or it's that, the fact that this thing happened to the parents, it carries over in the genome, right? And it will be passed down to the next generation. So when they heard a certain noise or smelled a certain smell, it automatically triggered a fear response and made them cautious, right? So to me, because when I used to use the word epigenetics and talk about it, people look at me like I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a scientist, right? But when I'm watching an episode of Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicists, everybody on that show are are real doctors, right? They got PhDs on these subjects and they talk about these things and they talk about it way better than I do, but they saying the same things. I'm saying that if your environment is negative and is promoting a bunch of negativity and is promoting the status quo of keeping that area, keeping that neighborhood um a battery for somebody else and not beneficial for the residents in that neighborhood, in that area, then it will continuously affect. Like we don't need shows like my man Josephus, because everybody gonna have PTSD. Everybody, because even if you're not outside on the block in that neighborhood, if you ever had to go to the store for your moms, if you ever had to go to the laundry, if you ever had to go to school, if you ever had to walk to church, if you ever had to take the bus or the train, if you ever had to do anything outside by yourself and you made it back home, like you tough enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you are affected by that. Like all of that is making you. Even if you don't stab nobody, even if you don't sell no drugs, even if you don't shoot nobody, even if you don't never punch nobody in the face, that is still shaping you, right? So I think it has a huge impact on a person's mental, right? And for me personally, I had no idea that my environment was lack around me, right? Because my mom's had us in our little apartment. She had the mindset of just because like we live here, so it's gonna be our house, even though it was a tiny apartment. This is our house, right? And it made us. She made it a home, right? It felt comfortable, right? And when I went outside and I went to other people's houses and stuff like that, like everybody else kind of lived the same, and it was like, y'all kind of stush, y'all think y'all better than us, kind of thing. And it wasn't that necessarily. It was just like my mom's had this certain thing that she put into us that she wanted to live a certain way, but because she couldn't afford to do better, that's where she had to reside at. But I didn't realize that that was lack at all. Like I didn't feel like I was better than nobody. I just felt like I was just another person in the hood until I go to junior high school and I go to another part of Brooklyn and I see like, yo, like this ain't nothing like my neighborhood. Like I didn't even realize I was still in Brooklyn at the time. I was like, this is so different, right? And I started getting exposure and started getting trained because you have to actually learn to be in those environments. Otherwise, you have a harsh reality in those environments, right? So it definitely has a huge impact, guy. Like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's big, right? We need each other, but we need each other to have real love, right? Like we all need Psalms 133rd to be
Tatted on your brain, you know,
you know, that's a
implanted as a chip or something.
some
You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, some people be looking real unfamiliar. But like you said, I wanted to joke on something you said, but you was cooking too good, and I ain't want to fuck it up with the joke. But you was talking about earlier, you was talking uh, about people taking habits and stuff. But You know, we've been knowing that. We've been saying that we learned that. Black folks learned that when they said, you know, you can take the nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Yeah.
So we've been knowing that people who have been having difficulty breaking bad habits or acknowledging that even their responses or their reactions are bad, you know, or that that they can do something else, that they do have an option. You don't have to respond like that, you know. So it is very critical that we pay attention to, because that would come from that family community that we're taught by, and those behaviors that we see people conducting themselves doing over and over again. You know, I told my cousin, just keeping on the same lines of that right there, I told my cousin, I said, somebody taught us that it was okay to behave like that. I don't agree with that.
You don't?
I don't agree with what was being taught to us.
Oh, hell no. Nah.
You know, so if you saying that if it's too emotional for you to think that by me saying that person was wrong, by me challenging that person was wrong, then you haven't matured at all, because that person was not without flaw. Even though we held that person to a very high regard, that person still gave us a lot of bad shit. A lot of it, you know. They did a lot of good for us too. Like, I mean, took care of us, the world, you know, but they also were human. They also had their own things that they was dealing with that they might not have known how to process.
Correct.
You know, so we picked up a lot of bad shit, and a lot of it is how we treat each other.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't agree with that no more. So now, you know, I get called names and all this shit because I'm like, nah, like I'm not, I can't get treated like that no more, family. I can't love like that, you know. And I'm acknowledging who taught it, and I'm saying that they was wrong, you know, because if we don't do that, then our communication looks different, and we have less conflict. We have more solutions to our problems, and we not sitting around bickering or bitching or blaming a person or trying to live on a wrong or live at a right. You know, it's like, what's the solution? How do we get back to, you know, like not making this shit that serious, and we just, you know, productivity, whatever that's going to look, whatever that look like, you know, a positive community or something functioning. No more trauma, no more mental illness. You know, no more well, damn, now, you know, this person said this or this person did this, you know, two people fighting and shit, family fighting. And it's like, okay, well, just because that's how they solve their disputes then, don't mean that that's what we're supposed to be doing now, especially not physically. You know, how you know you won't fuck around be trying to fight somebody and you fuck around and kill them? Then how you gonna feel about that when you could have had a conversation?
Especially when you get that time.
You know, because you're going to jail. Prison.
Prison. You're going to prison.
You're going to prison.
Going to prison.
You know.
And you could have either had a conversation or walked away. Been all kind of punks and suckers verbally.
Yeah, I mean, when you grow up in the area of sticks and stones, may break my bones, but words that never hurt me. But then as soon as you get called a bitch, even by a woman, you want to break her jaw. Then I think she was right. I think she might have had some validity when she called you a bitch. I think her assessment of you was correct.
Which is what you're demonstrating right now.
Especially if you punched her, because what she said.
Yep.
Not because of nothing that she did. She didn't physically harm you. You know, I even think that about a man. Like, man, he can stand there and talk all that shit he want to talk, man. Like, I'm not gonna stick around for the talk shit.
Not
You
gonna
know what
stick
I'm
around for
saying?
the not sticking around for the talk shit,
Yeah.
and
But
you can't approach like you can't like nah. If you
yeah, but I mean, but if you encroaching on the D, then you probably gonna then I have you know what I'm saying, have to defend myself because you
and
encroaching on the defense. So
it's your fault.
yeah, so we gotta play, the how it's supposed to be played.
Correct.
But if it is, hey, we can have a conversation and resolve, then that looks more like community trying to be unified, trying to actually get to a unified body,
Yeah, I agree.
trying to get to a common interest. And it don't have to be all the common interests. That's another thing. Like people don't realize it don't have to be. We don't have to agree about every. Who the hell agrees about every single thing? Me and my wife don't agree about everything. Like nobody agrees about everything. We have a lot more agrees because we like a lot of the same shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
Are
why,
you married her?
yeah, that's why we husband and wife. But I'm just saying, like, and then we learn new things and develop new likes too or dislikes. I don't like that, babe. You like that? Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. You might even still just fucking around and do it just because she like it
Correct.
and tolerate it.
Correct.
So it's like, and that's what staying unified in that within that community of that relationship. So that is a part, and I think that right there, just even using that as an example, plays a part on your mental health. Plays a part on your well-being because you want that community to be a positive, productive, peaceful community. That's why we tell everybody had that every week. You wanted to be productive for sure, always positive. And I mean, who don't like peace? You know what I'm saying? Because the only other time you get it is if you ain't trying to create some is when you're gonna be resting in it.
Correct.
So
Correct.
so I absolutely agree with the guy Ali Dawu El at BK. So fun. You know, we said how can community impact the well-being and mental of a health of a person. We just gave so many examples, growing up in an environment where you are subjected to it, whether it be the things going on outside of your house or inside of your house. Some of those things are going to have a, a role in shaping your character. And that's part of our mental health. How we respond to things, like you said, we could be trained to respond like this, and then we go in this environment and that's not going to be beneficial if I respond like that.
Hmm.
Or you may do it and then press your luck and then end up having a learning lesson that damn, I couldn't do that. Now I'm fucked up. I gotta get my shit together. And hopefully you haven't ruined whatever opportunity it was in that particular situation. But the choice is ours if we taking the time to examine ourselves. That's what we always talk about here, y'all. These shows, we be talking about ourselves. Can we do first? What can I do for Chef Earl Pearl first? And be thinking about how it benefits everybody else. But if I ain't it for myself, then I'm a hypocrite saying you should do it or you should consider it. And I'm not even that for myself. So that's playing with your well-being. That's playing with your mental health.
Yep.
So the example of the community is going to be reflective within the people in it, and that's how it impacts the well-being and mental health of people. Because the things that go on, we got to go through them.
And again, a productive community has to benefit the surroundings. right? Because the bad neighborhoods absolutely benefit the surroundings, right? It makes the property value cheaper for people that got money to come in and buy up the whole block because the block is affordable because the value is down because the residents don't value it, right? So I'm sticking with the first question, God, because that word productive. I remember that was like my tagline for like a couple years, like a while back. Keep it productive, right? Like everything was about productivity. If you're not moving and making something, then I'm saying you ain't doing nothing, right? Because everything is moving in the universe. So how you trying to stand still and just watch, right? Like, oh,
Gazing at the stars, stargazers.
yeah, but the stars is
Stargazers.
moving. Like everything is in motion. Like everything is
You know, but then if you standing still, right, you just
you just,
looking at it.
you just want to stand still and just look, like looking at
Stand
his
still,
motherfucker. I
look.
hate that shit. Like
Looking at it.
I hate
Looking
it, bro.
at the
Cause
food.
like nobody, like, man. I just saw a crash yesterday, and people were slowing down. I'm like, man, like we on a highway and y'all mashing y'all brake just to look. You have no intentions on helping anybody, right? You just want to look.
Do you blow your horn?
I be blowing. I be on my home, bro. I be
Yeah,
yelling.
I be on
I,
my horn like
I be.
shit. I be on my horn like shit. If they, as soon as they stop revving that, get
Like,
through that
what you
traffic,
doing?
I be on my horn like a motherfucker. Get the fuck on, man. Move.
Like,
Keep it going.
go,
Keep it
go,
pushing.
go, go.
You ain't gonna help.
You're not. It's different if it's different if you pull over skirt.
But
The
EMS and shit is already over there. The
But what
whole
you doing? What you doing? Even if you was a surgeon, this ain't a sterile environment, right? You ain't about to
right.
you ain't
And
about to jeopardize your medical credentials for
unless you caught it right when it happened. If you caught it right when it happened,
because then you'll be able to
the
justify
human.
to the insurance that
Well,
that
I
that
mean,
you're able to
that's
be
the
you.
fucked up part about it. But the human in me, if I had like, I hop out and put a tourniquet on you. If I see your shit flip over like that, like I said, I can't do that. I might could do some chest compression. I know some CPR. I can put a tourniquet on your shit. You know what I'm saying? But if I walk up to you, you look like you need the jaws of death. We gonna have to wait. I'm gonna talk. Hey, can you hear me?
100%
You
waiting.
know, I'm here with you. Just relax, stay calm. I would try to do that. You know, but and that's the human. But if I'm 5 minutes up the road, the shit done happened, and there was, a 30-minute traffic jam back up. When I get up there by them fucking 30 minutes, bro, like I don't want to see shit, but just the rest of the highway.
That's it. And I'm pissed if the reason why these 30 minutes was here was because y'all just wanted to look. Like they ain't even no accident over here.
They done
Y'all just
cleaned up. It's glass and shit, and maybe a little beat of one car that they didn't pull off the road yet, and everybody's goosing trying to see
I hate
the worst shit.
that.
It's the worst shit.
My bad, God.
Nah, I had to take it there too because I absolutely hate that shit too. Like I despise it. You know,
It bothers me.
for real. Like it's no way to fuck up my moment for a minute. Like I could be in. You would think I
Full
was
send,
bipolar.
God.
You would think I was bipolar. Like the way I would just flip the switch. Like what the fuck? Get on the horn. Like y'all keep it moving, man. Damn. What is there to see? There's nothing to see.
It's
You know,
nothing
you
to
want to
see.
see if people hurt. Well, what?
Hmm.
Yeah, so it seems like there's a community of people that believe, they don't want to miss their opportunity to see some gruesome shit. Like, why would you even want to like be traumatized that day? If you saw some shit.
Facts. Why would you even want to be traumatized? And why would you want to traumatize somebody else? Because all you want to do is, yo, guess what I saw today, son? Yo, it was an arm, leg, head, arm. It was just all over.
Hanging out the
It
windshield,
was
half the body was over here on this part. Like, really?
like, come on, son. Like,
It was
and like,
unbelievable. Like
and
I wouldn't even want to look. I'm like, I'm cringing, man. Get the fuck on, man. I want to see you pray for them people and keep it pushing. Hopefully,
for
you
real.
know, I can make it to my destination safely, and the universe doesn't have that in my plan, you know, because that's what happened. Whatever happened, I've been in accidents before. I ain't did shit. It just happened,
It just happened.
you know. I was following all. I'm a defensive driver, certified. I got certifications, you know, years and years and years of qualification, you know. So it's like of qual. So it's like, come on, family. Like we cautious and everything, and things that can happen that you don't have control over.
Correct.
So you know, you don't cause more
Yeah, they don't cause more.
of a disturbance than what you know what has already happened. So yeah, y'all. So getting back to the word community, y'all, make sure to like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. So when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. And we thank y'all for that. Make sure that you check out the links in the description too. We got merch links and a lot of social media links too for y'all to go check out. Make sure to follow us on social media as well. We really appreciate it. Tonight, we have been just smoking on the word community. And in our discussion of the word community, we have been going over these 3 questions. Tonight, we are at our 3rd and final question. Does community have importance? If yes or no, explain why.
I kind of think that's all we've been talking about.
Is the importance of community?
I kind of. Long and short, yes. Why? Go back to the first question. You know, productivity. We're trying to do something. Everything about the definition is about commonalities, like-mindedness, um, and I liked how in a definition it didn't limit community to a specific geographical area. It actually put in there scattered, right? You can be a group of professionals, you can be a group of builders just scattered, and y'all come together and recognize each other like you guys are, you people are a community, right?
Right.
So I like that, right? Because it allowed for the flexibility of all of the situations that we exist in,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like you said, right, you may like a manicured yard, I may not. We may not be the best neighbors, right? And when we are buying a house, you and I both have that same obligation and responsibility to support our interests. And if you're looking for a house and you see that this house is beautiful, this is everything that you want and see and like. However, your neighbors aren't upkeeping the way that you might want them to. You now have to consider, what kind of neighborhood is this? Is this a community that's going to benefit you? Are you going to be able to keep your joint upkeep and your property value going to stay up, or are you going to have to deal with uh, Dirty Diana and the Rugrats?
I feel you got. I ain't gonna cut your wisdom because I got teased now because because you can move into that neighborhood and you can move next door to the house. They keep their shit together, and then you want to shit on their shit because they shit look nice. Now you want to just shit on their shit.
And I'm saying that's fucked up, right? I'm
You know
saying
what I'm saying? Like
that's
what? Like
that's
that's
the
the reverse.
obligation.
That's
That's
the
the
opposite.
obligation. That's the obligation I'm saying that
It's
you
like,
have,
come on,
because
like
if you moving in and you see that they joint is manicured and you're their next door neighbor, right? And you're moving in, then you have an obligation to keep your joint manicured too, because that's what you walking into.
they should if they
You
see
sh-
the whole neighborhood is like that
yeah, because that's the property value, right? Like
because the
that's
community values it.
yeah.
You know, it's not like the front of the community is supposed to look good, but then the back of the community could just be a shithole. You know, we don't live in the front, so we don't got to keep it looking nice. You know what I'm saying? What type of hood booger nigga shit is that?
The whole thing got to
You
be
know
the
what I'm
same.
saying? Like,
Got to be the same.
yeah, like if the community cares about it, if it's a communal, what does it say? Like you said, uh, a body of persons of common and or professional interests. You know, a group of people with a common characteristic or interest in living together within a particular area, unified body of individuals. So if the people in the front keep their shit tight, why would the people in the back not want to keep their shit tight? You know, like that's some low life shit to me. Like, oh, damn, we came back. We come. Imagine a guest, somebody come to your neighborhood and they come in they come in the front and they like, oh shit, this shit nice. And then they get back to your shit and be like, why the fuck it smell like shit back here all the motherfucking time? Y'all got sewer back here or something? Why the yards all fucked up back here? Why people don't cut their grass, but it look nice in the front? This shit, all the niggas live back here. Is that what they think? That's what begins to happen. That's what those stereotypes begin to get associated with that type of behavior.
I interestingly enough, what I think happens is the niggas wind up moving back there because that becomes affordable, right? Because that property value, like those people, I think if in a situation like that, I think the community would separate themselves from the front from the back and make the back a brand new separate community, and that's where the niggas would be at, and they would just build another fence to.
And they would just build another fence, right? Shit, if it's in my neck, I'm selling my shit and moving on the other side of the fence for real.
You know what I'm saying?
For real,
Right? I think that's what would happen, right? Because it would have to happen. Because if
Oh
you
no, I wouldn't. Pardon me, God. I would rent my shit out and then go buy me another joint over there on the other side of the fence. That's what we do. My bad, God.
that's what we do.
Yeah, financial literacy. What am I talking about? We almost got carried away with the niggas, man. We got frustrated.
Yeah, right. But if they generate income too. Clearly,
they not because not going anywhere means we're gonna stay living in these conditions.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, and then when you create those conditions and they negative, you the only one that is the reason for it being negative like that. That is one of them things where it's like, okay, yes, we can blame. We have a valid claim on how hard it is to buy a home from the amount of education that is even taught through financial literacy, just on even having a mortgage, how to pay your bills, things like that, things that on an elementary level aren't even taught in a social skills class or home economics, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a problem with that. But when we say now, once you have got a little money and then you got over there, now what are you going to do? Because you put your mind together to get the money to get over there. You want to get up out of where you were.
But if you take your mindset with you.
So now do you get there? Now you stop? Oh, I made it. Now I can just keep these bullshit ass habits that I had. Let me do some of the nasty, dirty shit that the people was doing where I used to live at around here. In the new place where
that's what I'm saying, guy.
It don't look like people doing that at.
And that's why they say you can't take the nigga out the hood for real, right? Or the hood out the nigga, because they just looking at the first part, which is the economic part, right? I just want it to look different. They actually haven't. It's not in their heart yet to actually be different.
Say that one more time. I just want it to look different.
I just want it to look different, right? So
I don't actually want it to be different.
No, because they want to. Because again, if you're trying to maintain and hold on to your quote unquote black card or your hood pass or or something like that.
How do you
Yeah,
do that? How do you do that with white neighbors?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my camera, God. Do you still see me?
Yeah, I hear you. You good, God. I mean, you froze. You can yeah, you go out, come back in. We add you back.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I don't know.
You in a stream with audio only, but it's all good. Come on back, guy. We'll rock with the audio and we'll go ahead and close out.
Word up. Yeah, nah, it's I forgot what I was saying at that whole that technical difficulty. I don't know why my
But
screen. But
we was talking about the community and the actions of just people, not changing habits, bringing old bad
yeah,
habits.
yeah, they
You
wanna they
know,
wanna they wanna hold on to their authenticity because they get into their head that all their actions in the past, that allowed them to move into this space, that's what made them. So they have to they can't change up and switch up and act like they somebody or something else different now. When in reality, that's exactly what they're trying to be, somebody different. They're trying to do something different, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. I think if you move into the gated community, you gotta be willing to adopt the gated community's mentality. Other
right?
Otherwise, it's just not gonna work at all.
Yeah,
So yeah, community is definitely important.
yeah. I believe community is definitely important as well. So we definitely see that, and I think something is going on with the camera or whatever because
I don't get it.
I don't know, maybe something is with the controls. I don't know what's that. Maybe I've been hacked. Maybe we've been hacked in our StreamYard account because they keep going in and out and switching the cameras, and we're not doing that. I'm not even touching anything.
Yeah, why would
You
I be
know,
audio only all of a sudden?
like it's fine. We not tripping, man. Like, you know, we can communicate, right? So we can,
Facts.
right? So we can get done what we need to get done, man. Fuck the haters, you know. We ain't never got love for no hater, man. So we've been discussing the word community this evening, and we've had 3 questions that we shaped our conversation around. Our first question was, what is your idea of a productive community and what is it made up of? We exchanged some very, very, very great insights and so a lot of scenarios of what productive community can encompass. Our second question was, how can community impact the well-being and mental health of a person? And we also exchanged some very good insights. Primarily, the one that I wanted that would stand out, I recommend everybody check out, is when we were speaking of how people learn things in one community and how it affects you, how it continually to affects you, those things that you learn and how they shape us, and those are the things that taken from that area, that's the things that exposes us to the mental health of it, the traumas, how well we are, how well we will be in other environments that may present the same type of uh, stresses, traumas, situations. And then our third question this evening was, does community have importance? If yes or no, explain why. Uh, And I think we gave some very good explanations, insights as to why community does, the importance of community, you know, the importance of it and being unified in our actions. Because without that, then it's not a community. It's just one person doing something and then another person doing something. So no one is sticking together trying to set a standard or have a common practice amongst each other. So we come to that point now. The guy Ali Dawood El Incognito in the background. You know what I'm saying?
This is so strange, bro.
It's all good. We rocking with it.
This is so strange.
We rocking with it. That's what we're gonna do. So the guy Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm is the word community bad, good, or misunderstood?
The word community is definitely a good word. Heavily misunderstood. Uh, I think that we mix our interests up too often, and we are out of position, and we just confuse the neighborhood with the community. We confuse our families with the communities that we want to be a part of to do something different, right? Like we limit ourselves to things that we just shouldn't. I think the word itself is dope, is a good word, is positive, is useful. Um, I just think that our current understanding of it needs some help, needs some work.
Definitely, I agree. Needs a lot of work. Um, like we always say, y'all, we just learning this stuff as we go. So if you like something here, you know, pick it up, have a smoke. If you don't, leave something in the ashtray for somebody else. We are not the gurus, and we are also learning with you when we do these shows. Like it's live. We don't. The only prep work we do is we pick the word and we make some questions. That's it. We don't go read the definition or anything. We come and learn it. You know, we go off our assumption, our assumed meaning of these things, and then we come in and share it with y'all, you know, live, right off the top. So I agree with the guy Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm that that community is good, you know, and it's very misunderstood. And just leaving our viewers with something. If you take off the ITY and add ication, you get communication in the word community. So communication, to me, this is my meaning of it now. This ain't the definition, because we know the definition is different. But you can't have community without communication. Okay. And when it says, the definition of community says a unified body of individuals, I don't think you can unify anything without effective communication, without everybody communicating, being on the same level. Like the guy Ali Dawood El said, everybody on the same mind frame, same level. What was the word? What was it specifically, God?
Like-minded.
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 Like-minded. So if we like-minded in whatever it is, just that one thing, it don't have to be like-minded in every single thing. That's communication. We gotta be on the same page. So that's what I'm gonna leave with. We want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. We hope that you enjoyed our show. Make sure to like and share the video, and also subscribe to the channel. So when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the guy Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. We will see you all next Sunday right here at 8 p.m. East Coast time. And make sure that you all have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. Until next time. Peace, God.
Peace, God. This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel. Smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.